My name is Rajette Harris, Chairwoman of the Dauphin County Democratic Committee. Welcome to our new series, Getting to Know Your Candidates, to help you get to know the candidates running for the upcoming election, as well as on a personal level. Our next candidate is Jesse Gantt, running for Susquehanna Township School Board. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a resident of Susquehanna Township for 3 years now. Proud husband of my partner Kevin. I'm also the father of my sweet little son. He's Skylar. He's 2 years old, and I'm running for school board really because I see his future when I look into his eyes. I'll blink and he'll be at our high school, and I have an opportunity to do something to make a difference in our schools.
Great. So if elected, do you have any top priorities you'd like to focus on first?
Yeah, one of my top priorities is restoring pride to our school district and pride in our communities. Our school boards and our school district has gone through some tough times in the past, and I think our current school board has done a lot of heavy lifting to get us back on track again. What I think we need to do now is focus on our kids and focus on our communities and restore the pride in our schools that we had before, and there's no reason we shouldn't have again.
So what differentiates you from your opponents?
I've spent a lot of time working in the nonprofit field, especially in mental health. I run a nonprofit organization that helps people dealing with bullying, depression, and suicide. And in that work, I've worked hand in hand with school boards and school districts, developing mental health networks and mental health programs that will help the students and help our communities. I think it's a really important voice from the nonprofit field and from the community at large. It's an important voice to have on our school board. I think it makes me different. It gives me a unique perspective, and a perspective that I feel like our school really needs right now.
Great. So what's your position on standardized testing? Do you believe there are a good measurement for students?
We do have to have some measure of standardized testing. I think at some level it's important, but I think currently we are completely over-testing our children. We're over-testing our children, and we're also creating unfair evaluations of our teachers based on those standardized tests. I think we really need to take a hard look on what tests we administer to our students and how we evaluate our teachers, and make sure that it's done in a fair way, in a way that truly represents our students and our teachers' abilities.
Okay. So what are the major issues, in your opinion, facing public education?
I think currently one of the major issues is bracing for impact from above. We have a lot of legislation both locally here in Pennsylvania regarding our property taxes, and also from Betsy DeVos and the current administration. That's a real danger to our schools. I think we need someone on our school board that recognizes that and understands what legislation and what decisions are coming down the pipeline, and can prepare our schools to brace for that impact.
What do you feel is the ideal relationship between the school board and the superintendent?
Unfortunately, Susquehanna Township knows this all too well, that our board does need to have the checks and balances with our superintendent, but when we don't work together, when we lose that cooperation, when we lose that professionalism, it not only hurts the relationship between the superintendent and the board, it hurts our communities, and it hurts our students. The best way to avoid those our unnecessary lawsuits that Susquehanna Township is working through right now is to avoid them in the first place. And they can be avoided with professionalism and treating people as human beings, not as political issues.
As you may or may not know, Senate Bill 383 is moving through the state Senate right now, which will give school districts the option to allow principals, teachers, other school personnel to carry firearms on the school property. Do you or do you not agree with that, and why?
I do not support allowing guns into hands. I feel like the only place that a firearm belongs in schools is at the hips of a law enforcement officer, and only when absolutely necessary. I feel like it creates an unsafe situation in our schools, where our students and people who have nefarious plans with firearms, it creates a situation where they have access to a firearm. I think we lose control of those firearms when they're not on the hips of our law enforcement, and they're proliferated around the schools. So I do not support that bill. I think it's dangerous for our kids, it's dangerous for our communities, and we should not pass that.
So why should voters vote for you?
Voters should vote for me because I have passion and commitment to our community. I love Susquehanna Township. I chose Susquehanna Township to raise my child. When I looked all over our state and over central Pennsylvania for a school district where I wanted to raise my child, I found Susquehanna Township, and that aligns with who I am, who my family is, and where I want my son raised. I see so much value and so much potential, and I see strength in our diversity. I see strength in our passion, and we have a committed community. And I'm so proud to be a part of that, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do my part.
Great. And my last question, is there anything else you would like the voters to know about you?
I think the voters should know that I come to this board with heart, and a lot of heart. I'm choosing to run for Susquehanna Township School Board because I have a lot of compassion for our students. I have compassion for our teachers and for our communities. I've fought for our community for all my adult life to make things better, more equitable, and to create safety nets for people that are either underserved, underprivileged, or don't have the opportunities that the rest of us have. I think that my voice is needed on our school board. The decisions I can make will be powerful ones and will always be reflective of my community, because to me, community is first, and I'm proud to be part of our community.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.